flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Because I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. The rest of it, I think, is supposed to be Got a Girl. And there's nothing wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen. In this case, though, it's a send-off. Dylan Denmark's final show. Dancing girls are on their way. Booze already here. It is the party edition of Into the Night. My name is Rick Ballou. Dylan Denmark, several years here at 1010XL 92.5 FM. Time is winding down. T-minus 2 hours here. You'll do a double dose with Hacker After Dark. And then that is it, man. You are gone. You're nothing but a memory to us here.
That is right. I've had, it started hitting me yesterday. I'm like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was a normal week, reacting to the game. The presser was Wednesday. Yesterday is like, dang, it's like tomorrow. And then tomorrow's here, and I'm like, dang, last time going to the donut shop. Last time hitting traffic on 95.
Right. You going to exercise any demons before you leave?
Nah.
Is there a skeleton somewhere that you'd like to leave? Do you feel like dumping some dirty laundry on? I mean, come on, man. This thing is wide open. It's there for you. You're going ahead to educate as a teacher and a coach. I think you should get all that out before you take that over full time. That'd be my advice.
So you willing to leave like Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss, essentially?
Yeah, no doubt. But anyway, we'll have a good time tonight, and you'll sorely be missed. I know. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it. I work till late, but I guess a little get together a week from tonight is being put together as well. So some good stuff there. But this is going to be it for Dylan Denmark. Okay. What a weekend in store. You kidding me? 2 huge games tomorrow, 2 huge games on Sunday. Then you wrap it all up with Monday night. You know, I was doing a lot of reading today. Do you realize that the U has 5 5-stars, 32 4-stars, 34 3-stars? Indiana, they don't have a 5-star. Indiana has 6 4-stars. And the rest on this team are 3-stars. And, you know, it gets even crazier. As a matter of fact, it's insane. I'm trying to find my way around this now because, you know, let's just be honest about it. College football recruiting doesn't mean nearly as much to me as it once did because of what is going on right now. You know, with the portal and, you know, what is this going on overall, so to speak, with that sport. But, gosh, what did I do with it? I can't find it. It'll come to me here momentarily. But there has been a national championship winner in the last, here we go right here. All right, Indiana's lack of top-end recruits. The last 20 national champions had at least 2 top 10 recruiting classes in the 4 years leading up to their title. Makes a ton of sense. Look who's won the national title year after year after year. They're blue bloods. It goes hand in hand with top recruiting classes. Listen to Indiana. Are you ready? In 2025, they had the 53rd highest ranked recruiting class in America. In 2024, the 60th highest recruiting class in America. 2023, the 59th highest recruiting class in America. And in 2022, far and away their best, number 29 overall. The Canes, by the way, the last 4 years, respectively, 14th, 5th, 8th, 13th it's another example of what is really going on. And what they've done is nothing short of amazing. Sure, they have a Heisman Trophy winner. Sure, they have a guy who's probably going to end up being the top overall pick in this year's draft. They have the second best scoring offense in college football. They put up 42.6 points a game. They have the best scoring defense in college football. They only allow 11.1 points a game. But how did this happen? And Cignetti gets a ton of credit, and he deserves it. But what else has happened to make Indiana so dominant? I heard some of the mouthpieces earlier this year say, well, they kind of skirted their way through the Big Ten. They didn't play the gauntlet this year in the Big Ten. I'm like, oh, really? They went to Oregon and they won. Remember when they went to Penn State and they won? Don't think of Penn State as of Penn State right now. But remember Penn State during the whiteout? Do you remember that atmosphere? And I get it. This is an SEC audience. This is a deep South college football audience. For many of you, okay, Indiana, Penn State is not an attractive matchup. Okay, I know my audience. I get it. But this past year, it was. And it was a phenomenal football game. And they went out and won this. And listen, people have been saying it. I am one who is always going to make up my own mind. But I agree with what has now been said for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. Indiana gets this bad boy done on Monday night. I think this is the greatest accomplishment in the history of college football. And I don't need to hear about Bud Wilkinson. I don't need to hear about the Four Horsemen. I don't need to hear about playing in leather helmets. I don't need to hear about Bear Bryant. I don't need to hear about Nick Saban. I don't need to hear about any of that type of stuff. If Indiana goes 16-0 with the talent that they have on this team, and oh, by the way, talent that they have developed, talent that has absolutely gotten better year after year after year. Some of you may forget they actually made the college football playoff a year ago. I know it seems a little bit like a mirage, but what they're doing right now is absolutely out of this world. So we'll see. We have, 5 big games coming up over the next 3 days, and it really sets up again for an incredible weekend. 2 tomorrow in college, or 2 tomorrow in the NFL, 2 on Sunday, and then, of course, Monday night. That'll be it. Should be a home game for the Canes, and, they know all the nook and crannies of playing at Hard Rock. Miami against big opponents, Miami in big games, they always do draw. My understanding, though, is that Indiana is really snatching up a lot of these tickets. So I don't know if it's going to be 50-50. I still have to believe the crowd is going to favor Miami because of where the game is located. But, hey, there you go. And, after that, then you got what? You got Championship Sunday. You got an off week. And then you got the Super Bowl. So winding down right in front of us. Of course, we'll be here for it all on 92.5 FM as well as on our flagship, which is 1010 on the AM. All right, the Jaguars have made a move, and listen, they're getting better. They're trying to get better. Had a conversation with someone about this early in the week as far as staff changes, and my opinion was I didn't see them making a change. A change could be forced upon them. As we know, Grant Udinski is going to interview tomorrow in Cleveland. And the Browns have lined up a ton of interviews, right? I'm actually going to get into this a little bit later on. Also, we're going to get to that quarterback situation, which I wanted to really do a night ago. We were just too busy last night. So when we come out of our first break, we're going to get into that. It does involve Trevor Lawrence. It involves the quarterbacks who are playing this weekend in playoff football. And I think you'll like it. I do. I think you'll also, as always, contribute. No one is more interactive with our listeners than we are here on Into the Night. 2 ways that you can join us, 641-1010 on the text line. You can also hop on YouTube, and you can check us out there by going to 1010 Into the Night. But if something's forced, you lose Udinski. If you lose Campanile, then there's nothing you can do about it. You tip your cap. You got a head coaching job. You hope he doesn't take a lot of coaches with him or any coaches with him, but, perhaps he wants to promote someone from in the staff to an offensive and/or defensive coordinator. Could happen. But today it's Ron Milas who's shown the door. A guy who's been really all over the place since 2000 in the NFL, a secondary coach. And, again, I had the conversation with someone really in depth about position coaches and how certain aspects of this did really well this year. Didn't hear a lot of negativity, but what is the one issue that you think about on the defensive side? Okay, the Jags were 21st in passing yards allowed. They also went right against that and had 15 interceptions in their secondary. And there was massive growth in their secondary. Look at Buster Brown. Look at Antonio Johnson. Look at Jarian Jones after being shut down and told that that's not it. You're not part of the system. Getting another opportunity after the injury, twice to Jordan Lewis. The other side is they were 12th in completion rate, and the lasting memory is communication breakdown, a defensive back breakdown. How do you allow Brandon Cooks to get as open as he did with the game on the line in the fourth quarter? You can blame Greg Newsome. You can blame Eric Murray. You can blame the scheme. Well, Ron Milas has some blame, and he's no longer there. And, I don't want to see anyone lose a job. I don't know Ron Milas. I don't. I've known some secondary coaches around here, Perry Fuel among them. Certainly don't know. As a matter of fact, I really liked Deshae Townsend. I thought he was a good coach. If they were going to retain anyone from the former staff, and they did with Richard Angulo, the tight ends coach, I thought Deshae Townsend was a good coach. Okay. And then again, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you that I'm some master when it comes to evaluating positional coaches throughout the NFL, although I want to say the direct title for Deshae Townsend was defensive passing game coordinator. Remember, the 1 year he got here, they went from 9 takeaways to 27 takeaways in his very first season. But they think they can get better. And what we don't know is this, and this is what I really recognized the 8 years that I was the Jaguar sideline reporter. Again, and I remain respectful to this, even though I think the statute of limitations are now long gone, but I still respect the gig. I respected the job. I loved the job. It was great. And I was told you are allowed to report on what you see, not what you hear. Well, I also heard a ton, okay? And you can even go back to the phenomenal defense, 2017, playoffs of 2018. There is a lot of disrespect in the league, player to coach, that goes unnoticed and goes unreported because people aren't aware of it. And that's by design. It's why you're not allowed on the sideline. You notice that? It's like the NFL mafia. Okay, college games forever, especially pre-9/11. All right? Every single year, when Florida State would play Florida or Florida State would play Miami, I didn't go anywhere near the press box. I tell you, I go to the Orange Bowl press box, the old Orange Bowl, after the wide rights or after a loss. You know why? They serve free cold beer when I got out of the locker room. But I would go straight to the Florida State sideline. And if you look at a college football sideline, it's not controlled chaos. It's flat out chaotic. There are people all over the place. There's 100 people there with Game Day jerseys on. There's former alumni, some who deserve to be there because they made the program better. Others who are basically useless, but they're still on there anyway. I mean, do you see what it's like in college football? The NFL? Every single body on that sideline is accounted for. I swear to God, I don't know if they have snipers up atop making sure nothing crazy happens, but they got a member of the mafia. I don't know which one of the 5 families. I don't know if they run the Northport in Mayport or if they go all the way out to Amelia Island and do something there, but they bring in someone with the binoculars who says, get that knucklehead off my sideline. The only time you hear of any of this is if a television camera catches it and you can read lips, or someone is wired up. But my whole point of saying this is respect player to coach. Coaches lose respect all the time. Doug Peterson lost the locker room last year. Position coaches lost the football team a year ago. I'm not saying that's why Ron Miles is gone. I don't know the answer to that question. What I am telling you, though, is that the 8 years that I was a sideline reporter, you would not believe some of the things that I'll never, I mean, I'm not going to throw him under the bus now, but Yannick Ngakoue was the worst. Remember Elijah Hood? They got him out of Clemson, defensive line coach, and he came over here. Man, it just, buy me a beer and I'll tell you off air. I'm not going to talk about it here because it was so long ago, but you would just think that the respect factor, coach to player, is 100% wrong. Wrong. Not in today's league, and that goes back years ago. I mean, that particular battle right there was what, 2017, 18, 19, somewhere in that particular time period. Then again, Yannick Ngakoue was a bad teammate anyway, so I guess it's pretty easy to pick on him. And I don't know if that's why Ron Miles is gone. I do not know that. I'm not saying that. I'm just thinking out loud that maybe they saw a presence that is no longer working, and they need a new voice. It's not a new scheme. It's not a new theory. That's Anthony Campanile. It's about connecting with your players. And when Buffalo had 9 PBUs and 2 picks, and Jacksonville could not get a takeaway on Sunday and couldn't even get one pass breakup against the best player right now in the world, you're going to make a change, and that change is in. I don't know if it's the only one. I don't know if any more are going to come, but this one kind of snuck in. I wouldn't call it a Friday news dump. Actually, I think it came in late last night. It might have been earlier this morning. Josina Anderson, actually, with the report. Let's give her credit. We do that here. We actually credit those who we get information with. Imagine that. Okay, Shmunez Vision, ladies and gentlemen. They're right now just wishing you an outstanding weekend. Let me be real short on this Friday when it comes to Shmunez Vision. Make yourself an appointment today. Get an examination. And remember this, while you're getting examined by Dr. Neo Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt, ask any question that you may have, okay? Those are the same doctors that will perform surgery on you. No ins, no outs, no middlemen, no middle women, none of that. It's directly with the individual, the doctors who perform surgery. So whether it is for laser eye surgery and 20/20 vision for the rest of your life, or maybe you're a little bit concerned. Maybe something's going on. You think you need cataract surgery. You think you need refractive surgery. Hey, it could be as simple as an allergy. You don't know. Make an appointment today. Shmunez Vision online, or go to Instagram. Get the very latest from Shmunez Vision. Say your goodbyes, ladies and gentlemen. This is it for Dylan Denmark. We're going to let him run this show tonight. So we're going to have some fun with it, and you can join us right here on the home of the Jags.
While you were watching the ball, he saw what happened in the trenches.
I'm Jeff Logman.
And he tells you about it every Tuesday. Check the tape. 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Checked by Napa Auto Care on 1010XL.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
A new year is the perfect time to finally get organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to home offices, entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and more. Beautiful, functional storage for any space, lifestyle, and budget. Start the new year strong with 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free in-home consultation. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Hey gang, Prosser here. When it comes time to sell your home, don't worry about any, quote, problems you think might be related, because I've got the perfect team that will keep you right on track. In fact, they've got a guarantee that you can't beat. And that is Chad and Sandy, the agents I would call to sell my home. You see why? Your home sold guaranteed, or they will buy it. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, and stress-free. But the promise is this. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jacksonville homes are selling, but many take months and a low price to sell. Getting top price means aggressive marketing. Chad and Sandy Newman are the Jacksonville experts who have proven systems to drive demand to sell your home. Darcy in San Jose said, I felt too isolated in my retirement. I wanted to buy in a different area, better suited for me. I spoke to several agents who didn't seem to care. I needed to find someone I could rely on. In come Chad and Sandy, and in 3 days, the home was sold. ChadandSandy.com or 904-414-6200.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Annie Craig Charnley, senior basketball player at Wilson High. Annie is the co-president of the National Honor Society and is on the AB Honor Roll and the AP Scholar Award.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH, Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Are you searching for a career in the HVAC industry? Florida Home AC is looking for an A-team, full-time positions for qualified individuals to train for HVAC service technicians, install mechanics, and sales consultants. Just log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and click on careers to find out more. We're talking great compensation, a 5-day work week, no downtime in the off-season, and a company-provided vehicle. Check it all out at FloridaHomeAC.com/career. That's FloridaHomeAC.com/career. Equal opportunity employer.
Yo, it's your main man ET here for Blue Chew. And guess what? Blue Chew tablet isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code. Blue Chews provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, longer. It's like someone gave you downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. No awkward doctor visits and no uncomfortable waiting rooms. It's nothing worse when them nosy behind neighbors are looking at your packages and then asking you questions. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got this. Blue Chew is simple, it's discreet, and delivered straight to your door. And let's be honest, this isn't just for you. Give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. And guess what? I got a special deal for our listeners. Get your first month of Blue Chew on me. That's right. Just use promo code 1010XL and you pay $5 shipping. That's it. Head over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Use code 1010XL, then just chew it and do it.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's good to have you with us, the Into the Night crew with you till 8 o'clock. Ballou and Denmark. Final time for Dylan Denmark. Play some golf tomorrow with the GFL guys, and then on to coaching and teaching. Or I should say more. How did you handle both those gigs, by the way? You did 10 to noon, then you took about, a 5-hour sabbatical at the school, then made your way back over here.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's grueling.
Yeah, it wears on you.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. You got to deal with tender young kids and then tender, grumpy men once you get here.
Usually the kids, it's the drama that happened before I got there usually, so it usually wasn't that bad, but yeah, I'm going to see more of that while I'll be in school then,
Yeah, I bet it's so. I mean, we're just talking about the pro level here, and again, I don't know for sure what the details were on Ron Milas being let go. But we've seen that gradual change of the lack of respect from player to coach at the top level. Obviously, right now, it's even worse in college. I mean, a complete lack of respect. I can't imagine what it's like in high school. Again, I played high school eons and eons ago, but I was petrified of my high school football coach. I mean, I wouldn't sneeze near my high school football coach. He had us under that type of trance. Again, I'm talking early 80s, mid 80s when this happened, but it was such a different world. I just can't imagine how you deal with today's kids on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, how adults can't wrap their mind around the transfer portal and all that stuff. These kids have been doing it since they were in their youth. I mean, before high school. This is normal for them to just hop team to team to team to team. It's a lot. It's hard to get a lot of commitment, but it's and we always blame the kids. The parents are the ones to blame.
Yeah, no doubt. We are the ones to blame. And by the way, parents who were yellers and screamers and my kid should be pitching. Oh my gosh, man.
You're not using them right.
Oh no. I mean, just think of how undervalued those coaches are. Think about what they're getting paid. If they're getting paid, the time they put in, the effort that is there, and the whole process is supposed to be about what? Growing up, winning is phenomenal, but you need to learn how to deal with losing because you're going to lose in every aspect of your life at some point. And if you don't develop, I mean, that was really one of the biggest issues with Trevor Lawrence. When he got here, he never lost a high school game. What was he, 36-2 or whatever he was at Clemson? The guy never lost. Then all of a sudden he got here, and, we saw what happened. But just imagine what that must be like. And, anyway, that coaching profession, man, best of luck to you. And teaching as well. I think teaching would be more enjoyable. Feels like you have a little bit more respect there with the teaching. I just don't know how you could coach with today's kids. Maybe you got a good group of kids. I don't know.
Yeah, you just have to. You have to learn who the kid is and know their background before you can really, bark at him. I guess I would say you can't. There's no way that if the first time you're seeing a kid, you bark at him and you expect him to respond to that.
Without mentioning names, I don't want you to do that. And I will readily admit I'm not as in tuned with high school football as perhaps I should be. I'm just not. And I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I respect it. I know it has a huge niche in following here in town, but it's just not me. Okay, I'm huge in the NFL and I'm huge in college. Are there schools around here, if not directly around Jacksonville, fairly close in the state, without mentioning names, that are known as fierce disciplinarians at this point?
No.
Yeah,
there's not a single one that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, there's schools where okay, you go to the school, you're going to be coached hard. There's going to be there's a a standard, I would say, but I mean a disciplinarian and a military school kind of thing. Yeah, there's none of that. No.
Yeah, I remember playing a high school game against Natick, and Natick is the school that produced Doug Flutie. Of course, Flutie was gone. His younger brother, I think he was a senior when I was a freshman, maybe a sophomore. Well, anyway, we had a preseason jamboree type game with them, and they were another league. They were above us, and they were right in the city. They were a good local high school football team, and they made some mistakes. The game is over. We're shaking hands, getting back on the bus, and the coach is running them and screaming. He's Lombardi. And again, this is way, way long ago, but I find it hard to believe that anyone would do it. Instead, you got people, instead you've got Coach Norvell racing his players before practice. If you beat me, you get to take my dessert today at Florida State. That's what they're doing.
Did you see the Bobby Bowden letter? I'm sure you've seen it before.
Yeah.
From 1977, that's we're going to start camp, and we got 3 weeks before we go to wherever school, and we don't want no fat guys, and you better be ready to go kind of thing. Boy, those days are long gone.
There's no question about it. Ballou, I like the hat. Back nine golf. Yeah. Stay tuned. Going to have some details on back nine golf, which, by the way, is a driver in Threewood from where I live, right out there in Bartram Springs. All right. Let's do that when we return. I want to get to this topic. I think it's interesting. I believe it's interesting. I hope you find that it's interesting because you know what? It really doesn't matter what I feel. It matters what you feel. All right. But I think it's a good question. And I'm really interested in your answer or answers to it. It's coming up here on the other side. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. Let me get this out of the way right now, okay? Some people are scared to call an attorney because they believe if you talk with them, you're going to be charged. That is never the case at the Alexander Law Practice. It is a free call. It is a free consultation. You will never be billed, okay? If they bring you in and you have a sit down and you talk, at length about your situation, you will not be billed. There's not a retainer. You're not going to have to come out of pocket with $2,500 or $5K, whatever. No retainer, okay? This is for you an absolute one-stop. If you have been injured, and I hope you haven't, but if you have, and you are personally injured, your vehicle is totaled, regardless of what it may be, log on to Alexander Law Practice and fire away, all right? You'll make a phone call, 400-6600. Again, the call is free. The consultation is free. And then explain to them exactly what your situation is. You're going to get a personal, very caring reaction, and your case will be put in motion. You'll never come out of pocket during the case. During any part of the litigation, again, you'll never be asked. That's never going to be the situation. And at the very end, things will be prosperous and it will be settled at that point. But you could be alone right now thinking, I have no place to turn. Wrong. Alexander Law Practice. Check them out. Again, you can make the free call, get a free consultation as well. 400-6600. It's always easiest, though, just to go to the website, Alexander Law Practice. All right, let's get to this quarterback topic. That's on the other side. Great to have you with us on this Friday.
Your home for Florida Gators basketball is 1010XL.
The Gators get a big challenge in Music City against the 10th-ranked Commodores. Florida Vanderbilt, tomorrow at 1:30 on 92.5 FM.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Florida doesn't ease into the heat. It comes fast and it comes hard. And if your AC barely survived last summer, you're already on borrowed time. That's why Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning wants you to start the year off strong with a new AC system. Make the smart move before summer hits. Right now, get their lowest price of the year, $1,000 off a new AC system when you install by February 28th. Call now to schedule your free estimate and get ahead of the season. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
I'm with Retro Cycles at Jacksonville, and the fall part of the year just offers so much fun, especially when you're out and about. Tell everybody what's happening with Triumph right now.
They have got a lot of new models on the road, from Scrambler 400s. They've got the legendary Rocket motorcycle. Lots of really cool bikes to choose from.
And the price point and all the tricks that come with the Triumph bike, they're all there.
They're all there. Entry level to the greatest of the great. We've got them.
Look for them online, cyclesofjacksonville.com. Check out their Facebook page or that showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
Spend an evening with James Taylor and his all-star band. The music icon is back on tour. September 22nd and 23rd, St. Augustine Amphitheater. The multiple Grammy Award-winning James Taylor and a night full of his biggest hits. Tickets on sale now at AXS.com. Spend the night with a friend. James Taylor.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 16, 2019, Golden State guard Steph Curry becomes the first player in NBA history to hit 8+ three-pointers in 3 consecutive games.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval!
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Budweiser reminds us to drink wiser, like hydrating between beers. It keeps the fun going longer, and it's a commitment to responsibility. Remember, good times are ahead, so no need to overdo it. Know when to say when, and always designate a driver.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, with you till 8 o'clock tonight, Rick Ballou, Dylan Denmark. Final show for Dylan Denmark. He'll be with you tonight as well with Hacker Nation from 8 until 10. All right, let's get to this right now. I just read 0602, and he said, so the back nine golf is only 250 years from your house. And I'm thinking, did I say years? If so, it's like they're coming to take me away. They're coming to take me away. They're coming to take me away. It's going to happen. I'm hoping later than sooner. I'm like, I couldn't have said years. So I asked him, he said yards. So instead, he was making fun of me because I said driver in 3-wood is back nine from where I live at Bartram Springs. Meaning I could only hit a driver and then a 3-wood, a combined 250 yards. That's a shot.
Yeah.
No, that's a big one. We'll find out tomorrow. We're playing golf tomorrow. It'll be a lot of fun with the GFL guys. Okay. 8 quarterbacks left in the playoffs. One has won a Super Bowl. That's Matt Stafford. Another has been to a Super Bowl in Brock Purdy. As a matter of fact, you look at this league, it's scary. Okay? Scary. Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl. He's on his way out. Patrick Mahomes has won 3. He's retooling that knee. He's going to come back like Steve Austin, the Bionic Man. Do you even know who Steve Austin is?
No, sir. Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No. Steve Austin was the $6 million man. The Bionic Man, the Bionic Woman. It was like huge, can't miss television. Late 70s, I'm guessing. Okay. Anyway, he's going to come back like the Bionic Man. Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco was a backup, got a starting job, still has an opportunity, I guess, to be a starter. We'll see. Who knows what's really going to happen with Flacco? Who's now what? Didn't he go to Cincinnati? Flacco, when Burrow went down,
yeah.
Didn't he get moved there? So he's not
traded in division.
Right, he's not going to get. He's not going to be a starter if Burrow's healthy. And then you got Russell Wilson, who's a backup. So realistically speaking, if Mahomes isn't back, you could have 2 starting quarterbacks, Hurts and Stafford, to begin the 2026 regular season. We'll see what happens with Mahomes. It's a, I don't want to say a dying breed, but my point is, it opens it up for the next wave of quarterbacks. Who are they going to be? You look around what's happened here the last 5-6 years, and it's scary. Brady, both Mannings, Breeze, now Rodgers, Lord Favre, Roethlisberger. You just go on and on and on. The quarterbacks who won rings who are, no longer here. So what I wanted to do was this, and I wanted to pick your brain a little bit. You don't necessarily, because I understand a lot of you are on the road or you got other things going on. You don't have to rank the 8 quarterbacks, which I have done and Dylan has done. But I'd like you to tell me, who would you trade Trevor Lawrence for? And you got to put things in perspective. I'm not asking you to win a game this weekend. I'm talking about your future. No one's going to argue with the point that Matt Stafford is not playing better football right now than perhaps anyone in the league not named Josh Allen. But he's going to be 38 in February. You're not picking Matt Stafford at this point to lead your football team. You understand what I'm getting at? I hope you do. Some of you don't always, and again, it doesn't matter what I say, it's what you hear. So anyway, my ranking system is this. Josh Allen far and away is number 1. If you want to argue with that, fine, you can. Number 2 is Matt Stafford. Then it gets tricky. Number 3, I'm going with May. I'm going to New England, and I'm going with Drake May, who's playing in his first, this is it. This is his first ever playoff He won a playoff game a week ago, and they got a very difficult, defensive team coming in this weekend. I saw that New England was either 4th or 5th in the NFL. They allowed 47 sacks this year. You got 25 combined sacks out of the edge guys in Houston, who we all know very well. And just look at the 6 they got in the fourth quarter against the Jaguars, and that come from behind win. So I'm going Allen, Stafford, Drake May. And number 4, I'm going Caleb Williams. And there's another one who's really progressed, okay? I didn't think it would happen this fast. I wasn't sold on the fact that it wouldn't happen, but I thought it would take a little bit of time. I thought it would be more of the Trevor ups and downs, not the immediacy of where Chicago is at this particular point. And I get it. Trevor Lawrence did actually go to the playoffs during his second year. I think Caleb Williams, though, more advanced at this point in his career. Number 5, Bo Nix. Okay, I'm going to go with Bo Nix. And again, a guy coming off a bye. Bo Nix is 0-1 lifetime in the playoffs. 0-1. And here comes Buffalo. Number 6, I'm going to go with Sam Darnold. Still not buying in. You realize right now the odds to be the Super Bowl MVP is Sam Darnold? Because Seattle has the best odds to win the Super Bowl, okay? Number 2 is Stafford, because L.A. has the second highest odds to win the Super Bowl. I can totally see it with Stafford. I'm not a believer here in Seattle and Sam Darnold. Therefore, I have him at number 6. Number 7, I'm going with Brock Purdy, okay? Has experience, has been there before. Obviously, that football team is hurt massively with the loss of George Kittle, all right? And we'll see what takes place. They're going to meet now for the 3rd time. The road team has won the first 2 in this series. Number 8, that leaves us with C.J. Stroud. I think a lot of people would argue with me on that point. Move Stroud up a lot higher than where he is. But that is my ranking. So, Dylan, we'll get yours. I went Allen 1. I went Stafford 2, May 3, Williams 4, Nix 5, Darnold 6, Purdy 7, Stroud 8. Again, my question to the audience is, out of the 8, who would you trade Trevor Lawrence for? To you, though, I want your ranking.
My ranking, I'd agree with you. Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, 1, 2. Drake May with the situation he's in, I'll agree with you with 3.
Okay.
Caleb Williams at 4. I'm going to disagree here a little bit. I'll go. No, Bo Nix. I'll go Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Just because of the situation he's in.
All right.
For the time being. Brock Purdy, because he's had playoff experience, been in the Super Bowl, been a play away. I'll put Brock Purdy 5.
Yep.
Then I'll put Caleb Williams at 6.
That leaves you with Stroud, and it leaves you with Nix.
I'll go C.J. Stroud 7, Bo Nix 8.
Okay. There you go. A lot of youth there. Stroud, Nix, Williams, second-year guys, third-year guys getting after it this weekend. So we agree on the top 3, but after that it becomes, and obviously this list is incredibly subjective here, but it's scary that there's such a lack of experience if you really think about it. Again, Stafford is far and away the cream of the crop here, and as great as Josh Allen is, he's only won once away from Orchard Park, and that has to be considered. And we don't need to relive what happened here 5 days ago. I maintain Jacksonville was the better team. I believe that if they played 10 times, this thing probably would go 5-5. Maybe 6-4 Jacksonville's way. Home or away. Jacksonville was a great away team this year. But Jacksonville lost away games by doing what? Making mistakes. getting a bad call by an official in Cincinnati. I thought Jacksonville watched this game walk away because they abandoned running the football. Again, I don't have a problem like so many of you do of not taking the 3 points and going forward on fourth down. At least Liam Cohen made a point to his team. They were trying to win. All right? I'm not saying it was the right call. I'm saying I don't have a problem with it. I do have a problem with them getting away from running the football. I mean, I just can't believe Bashal Tutin went 20 yards, 14 yards, 13 yards, and got the ball once. Didn't even get the ball in the second quarter. I mean, that is frustrating. Okay, no doubt about it. But this is your list. This is your opportunity. All right, so tell me now. I'm not asking you to rank them. That's ridiculous. It's subjective. You trading Trevor Lawrence for Josh Allen? Hell yeah, I am. He's the best player on the planet. Absolutely. You trading him for Bo Nix? Nah, no way. Nix is a good quarterback. Nix could get to a Super Bowl. Nix could win a Super Bowl. It's a great staff. Sean Payton, Vance Joseph. No. Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback. Brock Purdy? Hell no. 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 Trevor Lawrence is better. Absolutely. Sam Darnold? Nope. Okay, reinvigorated. Yeah, maybe even, a reclamation project before getting to the playoffs a year ago in Minnesota. Hey, even though he's a veteran, you realize he's 0-1 lifetime in the playoffs. Didn't have any experience at all. He's got a dinged up oblique. We'll see how healthy he is this weekend. I'm saying no. C.J. Stroud, hell no. No. No way. There's no way that I'm trading Trevor Lawrence for C.J. Stroud. End of conversation. Okay, now it gets tricky. Stafford, no, because he's 38. He's 38 in April, so no. It's a six-pack minimum, okay? And I'm talking about a lengthy six-pack. We're going to chase each and every one with a water, okay? It is a six-pack minimum conversation when we get to Drake May and when we get to Caleb Williams. Now, I'll say this, Dylan, before sounding it out. I'm taking Lawrence over Williams. At this point in his career, and let the record reflect that a year ago, I did the exact same thing with Jaden Daniels. I remember sitting in this chair a year ago saying, after I watched what Jaden Daniels did in the playoffs, where he looked totally, completely unfrazzled, I thought Daniels had a higher ceiling than Lawrence. Right now, I think Drake May has a higher ceiling than Trevor Lawrence.
I would agree with that. There was some games where I watched him this year, and he's just a surgeon. You talk about the short and intermediate throws that he makes. I mean, he knows how to put the right touch on all of his throws. Drake May had an outstanding year. Now, a lot of it had to do with an easier strength of schedule. So, like Jaden Daniels had last year, had a great year. Couldn't follow it up this year. I know he got hurt. Drake May, I think of these quarterbacks, other than Josh Allen, I would listen to a serious consideration for trade with Trevor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of these 8 is going to win a Super Bowl. And if you don't go with the only one who has won it in Stafford, where's it coming from? I mean, who's your favorite? The Vegas tells us it is Stafford. And if it's not, they tell us it's Sam Darnold. There's no way I see Sam Darnold hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, okay? I don't get it. So who is it? Is it Josh Allen? Well, I've said forever there are venomous snakes in Buffalo, okay? We're not going to witness the Buffalo Bills win a Super Bowl in our lifetime. They nearly got knocked out a week ago. They could get knocked out this weekend. I just don't think, and if not, they're going to lose during championship weekend or they're going to lose during the Super Bowl. There are certain things in life that you should never see. One being Rosie O'Donnell in a bikini, 2 is the Buffalo Bills winning a freaking Super Bowl. It doesn't happen, all right? And it's not going to happen here. So let's cross off the best quarterback of them all in Josh Allen. So who's it coming from? Knicks? Purdy? Stroud? Oh, gosh, Stroud. Don't do it, Ballou. Don't upset these listeners. I mean, some are going to be upset with the Rosie comment. Huh? Okay. Hey, listen. Keep at it. It happens. It happens. You guys fire off stuff. I get reprimanded. Whatever. Okay. May Williams? Who? And one of these dogs is going to hoist the trophy. Tough to believe. It really is. All right. So give us your thoughts on this. Again, you don't have to rank them. Just tell me who you would trade Trevor Lawrence for. And if you want to add in there who you believe is going to get the Super Bowl this year. Isn't it just amazing with Rodgers gone and Wilson and Flacco backups that you really only have Stafford, Hurts, and Mahomes as legitimate starting quarterbacks in the NFL who have won the Super Bowl? There's 32 teams. You're talking about 3 QBs. That is crazy. And it's basically the same way with coaches. If you consider Harbaugh out for the time being, Pete Carroll out. Now Mike Tomlin out. Super Bowl winning coaches as well.
He's our Big Mac.
Woo! It's Smash Mouth football, baby!
Tom McManus brings his big opinions to Jaguars Today.
Every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010 XL.
Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass. They say you're going to see a big difference, but what does that really mean? It means a live local person on the phone, a smooth, easy process, skilled craftsmen, and excellent customer service all around, with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Life happens every day, and sometimes it gets in the way. That's why 1010XL makes it easy to listen to your favorites. If you missed it, get it on demand.
At 1010XL.com.
Channeled by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow. June 11th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena with special guest Alan Stone. Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow.
Oh, I think I'm in love with you. You know at that time, I know what I want to do.
On sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Is that a turtleneck? Can't you feel it, Jason? There's a chill in the air. A definite nip. I mean, it is January. In Jacksonville, Jason. I didn't come here for cold. Well, I wouldn't call this. Cold weather gives me the sniffles. Sniffles turns to pneumonia. Suddenly, I'm in a hospital bed with a tube down my throat because Florida didn't get the memo about ignoring winter. So, switch over to heat. What if my system can't remember how to heat? Dude, put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing can make sure your system is ready to switch from cooling to heat.
We'll clean your heating coil to get rid of that burning dust smell and make sure you have the coolant pressure to keep your heat pump pumping out the heat.
I had no idea these sunglasses worked in the winter.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
It's a new year at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. Cash in this month with thrilling promotions and tournaments, including daily high hands. Don't miss the winning weekends and table games Clockwork Cash Out, giving away $500 cash every 30 minutes on selected weekends at all Best Bet locations. The excitement is just beginning in 2026. Learn the games and see all the details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Cersei here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we threw the quarterbacks out there for a discussion. It's always fun to dive into it. I love this title. I thought a guy was taking a shot at me. He says, Blue, I love a good rankings list. That is one of my pet peeves. I think you see a lot of that during the offseason when people are just trying to do whatever they can to create some content. They come up with lists, and they're always subjective. And I think it's such a way to loaf in the sports talk profession. Steal someone's list and then have a conversation about it. But let me tell you something, and I mean this, brothers and sisters. When you create your own list, it's totally different. And that's what we have done here with the 8 quarterbacks who are playing in this week's playoffs. Okay, it is nearly unanimous. Okay, not necessarily, but Allen, absolutely. Allen is all over the place. We're getting a lot of Staffords, which does surprise me, considering he's going to be 38 in just a couple of months. I've yet to see, I don't know if you, Dylan, I've yet to see it anywhere else where another quarterback has been mentioned in a trade here for Trevor Lawrence. Again, I think it's a very lengthy conversation once you get to once you get to Drake May. I think it could be a conversation when it comes to Caleb Williams. For the record, I would take Trevor Lawrence over all of these quarterbacks, except for Josh Allen. And right now, I'm going to say I think Drake May's better. But that's right here, right now, today. Again, a year ago at this point, I said I thought Jaden Daniels was better. And it wasn't, 100% based on what Daniels was doing as far as throwing the football. Of course, he had great maneuverability with his legs. It was his poise. It was his confidence. It was the fact that he just did not look like he was playing in these huge playoff games. It almost looked like he was playing, in a mid-October game. That and I thought that really stuck out, if you remember the great run that they actually did make a year ago. So these are always going to change. Now, if I did this last year, man, I would have had, I don't remember at this point the 8 teams that were still left, but I imagine I would have had Trevor down a little bit. I don't here. I got him in at number 3 out of what would be 9. But anyway, you can agree, you can disagree, and haven't really seen anything yet for Drake May. Getting quite a few in here, though, obviously with Josh Allen. And again, even though he is 38 years of age, getting some for Matt Stafford. 66-67 says, Ballou, I wouldn't trade Lawrence for any one of those 8, except for Allen, May, and Williams if we got another pick or a sweetener. Love Stafford 2-0. Thanks, Rick. I told my wife the same thing about 10 games ago with the Bills. We would win 5. We got a bad draw. I would love to go on Sunday. I mean, that part of it, I don't even know if we talked about after the game. They did get a bad draw. And you took Herbert and you sat him, and you gave up in L.A. in that matchup in Denver, and L.A. wasn't, frankly, any better. You see the pass that May made in that game, just barely over the fingertips of Derwin James. And, there are times when Lawrence makes a pass like that, and I'll sit here and say he's one of only a couple of people in the world who can make that pass. Drake May's another one. I mean, I've watched him play every game this year live, and I still keep a serious eye on the team I grew up rooting for. He has made some incredible passes this year for the Patriots.
Yeah, there's a few quarterbacks where they make throws and you're like, only a very few amount of guys can make that. Like the Caleb Williams throw where he's rolling to his left.
Yeah.
And hit, I think it was Roma Dunze.
Mm-hmm.
Like Trevor can make that throw. Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, Josh Allen. I don't know who else is on that list. Like Mahomes probably could, but that's really about it.
Yeah. 97-32, Ballou. Let's go with Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, Purdy at number 3. May, Nix, Williams, Darnold. Number 8 is Stroud. I agree with you, Rick. I would only trade Trevor Lawrence for Josh Allen right now. He goes on to say, in a hell no for Stroud. Okay. I will add, though, I did say I would also trade him for Drake May. And if you want to rip me for that, you can. But I'm not going to ever run away from my honesty here. Trevor this year, consistently, as I blast these lists, I still read them. I still talk about them time and again. I read everything that's there. Trevor was anywhere from 17, 18 to 21. If you look at all the preseason rankings and everything that came out, I mean, there might have been something obscure that had him deeper than 21, maybe the 22, 23. There may even have been one that I just don't remember where he was higher ranked than 17. But I know you read the list as well, Don. He was basically somewhere between 17 and 21 on most of these lists. Where do you think he'll be this summer when they come out with this year's version? Because everyone does it, right on the cusp of camp or whatever. How far do you think he moves from the 17 to 21 ratio? How far up?
I would say, man, if I had to guess, I'd say the list would be anywhere between 9 to 14.
Okay.
Because people are going to say, yeah, he had a good 2 months, but he had a bad playoff game. Lamar was hurt a lot. Mahomes is hurt. Depending on how the playoffs go for the next couple of weeks, I would say right around that top 10, just outside the top 10.
I think that's fair. I think he's got an opportunity. Are these playoff stats only? What the heck am I looking at? I think he's got an opportunity here to get in possibly at number 10. My guess is top 12. I think that's what you end up seeing. Well, let's just look at it. Well, let's pick a category. Let's go to quarterback rating. Okay, Drake May was number 1 in the NFL. He's going to win an MVP, you believe, 113.5. Okay, May's going to be, regardless of what you think in this town, nationally speaking, he's going to be rated higher. I'm just telling you that, okay? Stafford's going to be rated higher. Goff is going to be rated higher. Lamar Jackson, I think, is a conversation because how much longer can Lamar Jackson play this style of football? It didn't work for RG3. It doesn't work for a lot of these dual threat quarterbacks. And Lamar Jackson was not the same at the end. And I get it. Do you realize that Lamar Jackson in the history of the NFL has the highest quarterback rating of anyone who has ever played?
I did not know that.
Lamar Jackson does. I mean, I still think of him as a run-first quarterback.
Yeah, he's changed. And when he first started, he was a run-first guy, and then the last 3 or 4 years, he was a pass. But when he got hurt, he took those couple weeks off and then came back, and he didn't have that running ability. That completely changes the element of him as a quarterback.
So we'll see. I think most lists will probably have Jackson ranked ahead of him. Josh Allen's going to be ranked ahead of him. Jordan Love. That could be a coin toss there. Jordan Love had a quarterback rating this year of 101.2. Burrow's going to be ranked ahead of him. Brock Purdy, I would put below him. He's got a better QB rating. We'll see. Daniel Jones, I'd rank below him. Dak Prescott. That's going to be tough. There's going to be some lists, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some lists that Prescott's ranked higher. I think Trevor has a chance to be ranked higher on some lists. Sam Darnold, no, below. Jalen Hurts, man, does he get criticized. Unbelievable. The guy threw 25 touchdowns, had 6 interceptions, had a quarterback rating of 98.5, 7.1 yards per, completed 64.8% of his passes, and gets just destroyed in Philadelphia. Like 4 games after winning the Super Bowl, too.
Well, the crazy thing with that is, apparently his reputation's changed, the relationships he has with some of the players and coaches. I know A.J. Brown's a little different. But, this was a guy that went to Alabama. Nick Saban didn't say anything bad about him. He gets benched his last year there, comes in the second half of the SEC title game. Nick Saban's, almost brought to tears right after the game. Transfers to Oklahoma. Second-round pick. Doesn't start immediately. Nothing but a good guy. And then this year, it's, completely flipped, which is pretty bizarre.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's A.J. Brown and his camp that's created a lot of that. I remember the first time we asked the Philly Godfather about it. At the time, he had 19 touchdown passes and 1 interception with a quarterback rating north of 100. And you would think that this guy, was the bottom of the barrel quarterbacks. And again, it was about 8 or 9 games into the season, fresh off of winning a Super Bowl. It's amazing, man. You talk about a tough crowd. Philadelphia. All right, Mac Jones, he's ahead of that. Aaron Rodgers ahead of that. Justin Herbert, he's a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. He's a better QB. Jacoby Brissett, he's ahead of him. C.J. Stroud, he's ahead of him. Boy, but if they win, a lot of people think they're going into New England. I'm looking at all these sacks here again. I said earlier in the program, 23 sacks against Stafford, 40 actually against Allen. You just go on and on and on. You look at quarterbacks who have been sacked, only 11 against Purdy. Again, he's missed some time. You get to Drake May, 47 sacks. That New England offensive line is much maligned, and you know how fierce Houston is. A lot of people are taking the Texans here to pull off the upset. Jackson Dart, Baker Mayfield, Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes. There's a lot of QBs there. An injured Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Bryce Young. It's going to be really interesting to see where he is at. But, I think there's, out of the quarterbacks who are not playing in the playoffs, I stated Allen and in May. I think the only other quarterbacks that I would take. Do you take Mahomes at his age, coming off a broken knee? I do. I think he's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
He's only, 29? I think he's going to be, again, just totally ready for the challenge. He's actually 30. He'll be 31 in September. That's nothing. I mean, we've seen the great quarterbacks in this league play into their 40s. And I think there's no doubt that Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys who is going to play into his 40s. I'd still take Burrow. I wouldn't take Baker. I wouldn't take Jackson Dart. I wouldn't take Herbert. I wouldn't take Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't take Prescott. Jordan Love, I get you to buy me a few beers, and then I'd tell you no. I'd say I'm staying with Trevor Lawrence. Jared Goff's an interesting one. At this point, Jared Goff is, he's only going to be 32 midway through the season. And, boy, he just remains such an underrated quarterback. Jared Goff. But I want to tell you something right now. You talk about the world spinning. Can you imagine what the situation would be like if you heard that you move Lawrence for Goff? It would never happen. That's why you have radio shows like this, to bring up hypotheticals and situations. So, my count, man, I've only come up with 4 quarterbacks currently in today's NFL that I would actually trade Trevor Lawrence for. 4. That's it.
I'd probably say somewhere in the ballpark between 5 to 6. Lamar might be in that conversation. Drake May, Josh Allen, Mahomes.
No.
I could listen to Herbert. I feel like Herbert and Trevor are pretty even. If people want to judge Herbert, what have you done for me lately? The offensive line was god-awful terrible this year. They had Najee Harris get hurt, Amari and Hampton get hurt. They had Kamani Vidal try to be a guy, then he got hurt. I mean, it was just a bad year for them. I mean, they were not expected to make the playoffs after both of your tackles go out. I mean, we talk about the impact of Van Lanen not playing one game. He had 2 guys that were all pro at their position and go. So I could still see about 5 to 6 guys I could trade for Trevor.
All right. Let's continue with you and your thoughts. Want to get to some coaches as well. Hey, you know what's scary? The 4 that I mentioned, you know what they have in common? They're all in the AFC. Allen, May, Mahomes, and Burrow. Those are the only 4. And they're all AFC quarterbacks. Kind of reminds you a little bit of what? Fred Taylor years ago. Why he's still not in the Hall of Fame. He was part of an unbelievable era of running backs. And most of them, in that point, not named, Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith, the others were all in the AFC. And Jacksonville clearly in that time, without social media, et cetera, was undeniably a small market franchise. All right, we got much more to do. It's Dylan Denmark's final show right here on Into the Night. We'll read you tonight till 8.
Fred Taylor is now in 1010XL's backfield.
Fred Taylor with 2 touchdowns.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins on 1010XL.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Covering the First Coast and ready to help when you need it. That's Rebound Rehabilitation. With a dozen locations, they're easy to get to and they'll get you back in the game. Sports injury, workers' comp case, or auto accidents, you name it, they can help. Check out reboundrehab.com.
Big personalities, bold opinions, lunch just got louder. Joe C, Matt, and Leon are XL Prime Time from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
Any questions? Yeah, when's lunch?
Noon to 2 on 1010XL.
It's January. You turn on the hot water, expecting steam, and you get let down. That's usually a sign your tankless water heater is loaded with mineral buildup, slowing it down and wearing it out before it's time. So Duck Duck Rooter is kicking the new year off strong with a Start Fresh Tankless Flush. Their experienced technicians flush and clean your tankless system, restoring performance and getting you back in the game. Right now, get your tankless water heater flushed and cleaned for just $99, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
What's up, Duval? I'm Chad Volamic, owner of Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran-owned pool company for over 10 years. We specialize in new pool construction and pool renovations, built on military values, integrity, communication, attention to detail, and honor. Now is the perfect time to start your pool project, so when the heat hits, your pool is ready. As an Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient, pride in what I do is everything. Let me show you the difference in how my team and I execute your pool project with military precision. Call Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran pool company.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
Playoff football calls for the grill. The January Rancher Box from local Fair Jacks is packed with pasture-raised beef, free-range chicken, and pork. All local, all delivered. Stock up for game day at localfairjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Mama told me when I was young, who sat beside me, my only son.
Leonard Skinner. Last show, Rick.
Leonard Skinner. Let's go to the jug.
To what I say.
Leonard Skinner from the west side of Jacksonville.
Do this, it'll help you.
It is Dylan Denmark's final show, so a little bit of Leonard Skinner for you. They are going crazy on YouTube. First off, someone's talking about Kathy Bates in a hot tub. Ooh. Okay, that's where the conversation has gone. And outside of that, let's see, they're saying, Ballou, you need to take into consideration the culture when talking about Trevor Lawrence. And I would agree with that. CJ's a bum. Jordan Lovis is better than CJ. Bro Stroud isn't even better than Davis Mills, for crying out loud. They're just getting after it. They take our questions here, and sometimes they really start their own little thing.
There's a lot of people that believe that Davis Mills and CJ Stroud, like, there was not much of a difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, Stroud's won 3 playoff games. Yeah, we'll see. A lot of people think he's going to win. It's a big game for him and his reputation. Man, he wins this one in New England. That's a tough place to play, especially for an indoors football team in this type of climate. So we'll see what ends up happening. Whole merchants, I think Trevor's emotions can be too obvious at times. I want a stone-faced quarterback. Well, wait a minute now. Weren't we not too long ago part of a process that was Trevor doesn't show enough emotion? Trevor doesn't have enough fire in his belly? You knew that Trevor was never going to be a Phillip Rivers, a Tom Brady, get in your face, scream type of guy. But believe it or not, people, I listen to what you say via social media, okay? And I remember complaints about lack of leadership and him not being able to provide that. Well, that's grown. And now too much emotion? All right. I mean, everyone's got their own opinion on it. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. What I am saying is that's change. That's the first time I can ever think of. Maybe you've seen it on another show, don't I? Can't ever remember anyone ever telling me that Trevor Lawrence shows too many emotions while he's a quarterback.
Yeah, that's a first for me. The only talk that we had going into this season was he doesn't show emotion, doesn't show that he cares, which I don't believe for a second. Because, I mean, like you see it with coaches all the time. Just because you don't show emotion doesn't mean that you don't care. Todd Bowles not showing emotion on the sideline doesn't mean that he doesn't care. It's always the next play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Todd Bowles is just awful. I mean, there's a total stone face. There's a guy who never gives you anything, good or bad. But, I did hear from just a phenomenal source at one of the not worst times, but under a set of circumstances where it was actually a football family funeral. Someone that I know really well who was there, and Todd Bowles was there, and in a conversation said he was completely blown away by Todd Bowles. That on a one-on-one situation, he understands why he's a coach and why he's a successful coach. Point I'm trying to make here, it was a totally different opinion that I got from this guy based on what I've seen watching him on TV.
Yeah, if people want to judge a coach based on the few glimpses they see at a press conference from a clip or, the little bit they show them on TV, I guarantee you can sit with any coach in the NFL. The vast majority of them, you would probably be blown away with just how much knowledge they have of the game. And, anything that get thrown at them, you could give them so many different looks. It's football coaches. What was the quote I saw a couple weeks ago? It was like, if you want a quote, go to a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a good soundbite, you can go to a quarterback. If you want an education in football, go to assistant coach.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys have been assistants for a long time.
Yeah. Every time the camera's on him, his lips still move. He's just...
Other than the one time when they lost the Thursday night game to Atlanta, and he cussed like 30 times in the span of 15 seconds, you're like, what in the world?
28-24, does Dylan work 12 hours a day? I cannot believe you asked that. He works 16. 88-10 says Double D. Best of luck. 6159. Sorry about that, Jess. I'm trying to drive and talk. Say, oh, yeah, someone was asking me about the, once again, the situation about the question asked on Sunday. We covered that earlier in the week. Have no problem with it whatsoever. 54-34, Ballou, would you trade Lawrence for Mahomes at Mahomes' current age and current injury status? Yes, I would. I think Patrick Mahomes, today's technology is absolutely spectacular. But when I heard, and you heard, that he was going under the knife, I mean, the swelling wasn't even completely down. Guys take a week, maybe two. He's like, let's get it done. Get me in there. That said everything to me. That spoke volumes to me. What that said is that Patrick Mahomes, and I think you're going to see so much of this post Andy Reid. I think Andy Reid's got 1 to 2, possibly 3 years remaining. I mean, that's it. So this is going to be post Andy Reid. But I see Patrick Mahomes playing for another 10 to 12 years. And I think he's going to come back and, he's got 3 Super Bowls. I think he's got some of Brady's goals in mind. That's going to be so difficult to do. But as we said earlier, look at where we are. You have 8 quarterbacks left. Only one has won a Super Bowl, Stafford. And we don't even know if Mahomes is going to be ready by September football. You could have, starting in the NFL, out of the 32 quarterbacks when the season begins, only 2 QBs would starting Super Bowl rings. Jalen Hurts and Matt Stafford. And oh, by the way, if Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl and retired, would you be shocked?
Absolutely not. No. I mean, he's played in the league for almost 20 years. Mahomes is kind of taking like the Brady route where Brady won 3 Super Bowls and then had that knee injury. Yeah. And then he went 10 years, people forget, that without winning a Super Bowl. Mahomes could be on that same route because the Chiefs they're not a team that can win a Super Bowl, I think, within the next 2 years. So they might take a little break before they ramp back up and make some good roster moves.
New England lost 3 Super Bowls. They lost to New York twice. They lost to Philadelphia. Just go back and look at AFC championship games. You know how hard it is to get to an AFC championship game? This organization's been to 3 in 31 years. Tom Brady took them to a AFC championship game almost every single year. What did we say a couple of weeks ago? I may be wrong, but I believe the number was 27 years. That this was the first time in 27 years that you had a playoff without Brady, Manning, or Mahomes.
Yeah, because Mahomes has made the AFC Championship game every year he started. And then before that, obviously you had Brady and Manning go back and forth.
Come on. Is the computer going helter-skelter on me mid-show for crying out loud? We're having so much fun. How am I going to connect with my listeners? You expect me just to be able to talk on my own? Let's see here. 84-46 Ballou. I think Trevor is a momentum quarterback. The more experienced, the better he will become, providing his trusted weapons are intact, not new recruits. Okay. You know, it's a fair point, but let me say this. You go back to camp. It was Brian Thomas Jr. who was behind. It was Travis Hunter who caught on immediately, and I'm going to say it. Okay, you ready for this? I'm going to say it. It was Diami Brown who was on it immediately. Okay, and look at what they did with Jacoby Myers. I mean, Jacoby Myers got here, and it's not like there was a long learning process. Now, granted, he had worked previously with Edgar Bennett in Green Bay when Bennett was the wide receivers coach, and Myers was, with the Raiders. When Bennett was there, Bennett went from Green Bay to the Raiders before coming here. Fair point, but I think it's a point that you can argue as well. But I appreciate that question. Makes you think a little bit. 4751. Hey, Double D, can you leave a note for the new guy to accept my collect calls? That's from Amit Patel. That's good stuff. That is good. That is good. That is good. That is good. More coming in on that. No, don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. Sorry about the text, and I'm trying to drive and talk at the same time. We should talking and not texting. Yeah, I do this that day. We had a meeting here today at 10:30. Mm-hmm. Okay, I had the Duval runner came here for a meeting, and listen, it's real simple to get out of here and just get on 95 and bomb home. I'm a guy of luxury. Okay, I love beauty. So I take the Phillips Highway stroll, okay? And I'm driving, and I'm just, I'm right around 42 miles an hour, man. I'm abiding the law. I'm a taxpayer here in town. I want to see it. There was 3 times someone pulled right in front of me in the left lane on Phillips, and they're going at least 6 to 7 miles per hour slower. And the one got ready right over there by Phillips and Butler. You go past a little bit, and there's a bunch of fast food places in there and what have you. This guy's on his phone typing away. And, there was a part of me that was like, all right, do you roll down the window and give him a bird? Okay, if you do that, there's a chance that this guy could be packing. He could be carrying heat. He could be upset. He could have found his wife in bed with his neighbor. He may come after me. I'm like, nah, let's avoid that. Part 2 was like, you faked it forever, Ballou. You faked that you knew NASCAR. You faked it so you could get the trip out of Chicago so you could cover the Daytona 500. Should you take your big-ass truck and just tap him and put him into the wall, Okay? Just do it. I mean, act like you didn't mean to, but the guy's on his cell phone. He's going to get blamed anyway.
Yeah, do the Dale Earnhardt Rubbins racing.
I said, you know what? Nah, that's probably not a good idea either. So I just moseyed on down the road and instead just kind of shook my head and said, why are drivers so obscenely selfish? If you want to be on your cell phone, fine. But why do you have to do it in the left lane? Highways, byways, Phillips Highway, anywhere that you are on where there is more than one lane, if you're going to be that guy or be that gal, go to the right lane, for crying out loud. You don't have to do it in the left lane.
My biggest pet peeve when people are driving and you see people, the speed limit's 55 on 95 or whatever, where all the construction is near Emerson, and everyone's going the speed limit, and the left lane is for the fast people. It's the pass lane. And some people they like to mosey onto the fast lane and just slow everybody up. It's very aggravating. And nothing's done about it.
No.
Nothing.
6159. So anyway, here you go. My text. Sorry, I'm driving and talking and instead of texting. I had such a bad accent. But what I was saying, I will give y'all Allen in May. I will keep Trevor. I bet we win more Super Bowls than the two of them together at the end of their careers. That's actually was supposed to be the next link of bringing this up. If Stafford does win and retires, Rodgers is going to retire. Flacco's a backup. That leaves Mahomes, Hurts. Russell Wilson's a backup. If I said that, I apologize. Who's next? Seriously. Only 20 of 32 teams have won a Super Bowl. 20. There's not as much parity in this league as we always brag about. It's top heavy when you talk about championships. It's top heavy when you talk about coaches with championships. It's top heavy when you talk about quarterbacks with championships. Who is next? And why wouldn't you put Trevor Lawrence on that list? I'm not saying putting him in at number 1 or putting him in at number 2. But if you don't believe Jacksonville is in at least the top 10, if not maybe top 7, top 8, as a possibility of winning a Super Bowl. And again, I'm not saying they're going to win it next year. Okay? I mean, Trevor Lawrence could be the quarterback here for another 10 years. Wouldn't you take one? Of course you would. Any one of these teams would take. You think Buffalo would take one with the great Josh Allen? Hell yeah, they would. That's why I just can't believe the way they are in Philadelphia. You just got one with Jalen Hurts. You're running this guy out of town. I mean, it's unbelievable. Anyway, so if you want to add to that, you can. We only got a little bit of left here in the show. But anyway, your contributions are, as always, appreciated.
1010XL is your home for Jacksonville University basketball.
After a 32-point explosion, JU rides the wave to North Alabama. Dolphins Lions, tomorrow at 3 on 1010 AM.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
When it's game time, make feeding the crowd easy. Chicken Salad Chick serves fresh Southern-style chicken salad, flavorful sides, and crowd-favorite catering trays. Order ahead at chickcatering.com or visit one of 4 area locations today.
Go see for Hard Rock Bet, where there's always something happening and so many ways to bet it. Who's going to score a touchdown? First and second half lines and totals. Where's the best play on an underdog? Follow the money on the Hard Rock Bet app. Great pro picks, and now we're down to Championship Saturday before the playoffs in college. Don't miss out. Download the Hard Rock Bet app. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it's Rick Ballou. We got a fresh shipment of hard-to-find ProMaster vans, perfect for Section 179. My buddy Tommy and his team are committed to the community and make the process simple. Upfits, delivery, everything handled right. If you need ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, you need Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, the adorable chess man on the trucks.
There are two things you should ask yourself about your garage floor. How clean is it now, and how clean would you like it to be? A typical bare concrete floor doesn't just collect dirt, it makes dirt.
It is literally made of dirt.
As much as you sweep and mop, the dust and grit just never ends.
And drips from your car seep into the pores, staining the concrete forever.
A Checkmate multi-layer floor resists drips and stains. It comes in your choice of dozens of colors and sweeps up sparkling clean in just seconds.
No need to wear shoes in the garage and track dirt back in the house.
Gorgeous?
Check. Durable?
Check. Tidy enough to walk on wearing clean white socks? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
New year, new lifetime dreams. Let's build them together. Jeff Breyer here with the Lifetime Family of Companies, your local backyard
and indoor
home improvement specialists.
That's right, Dad. Lifetime enclosures, lifetime flooring, and lifetime windows.
Glass and screen enclosures, outdoor kitchens, pergolas, replacement windows, all to enhance your home's livability and value.
And a huge flooring showroom with thousands of the latest tile, LVP, hardwood, and carpet selections to help you fall in love with your home again.
Come experience the lifetime difference. Call or visit one of our showrooms today for our limited lifetime offers.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Well, one announcement has not officially come from the Jaguars, and frankly, I don't know if it will, but there are reports, Josina Anderson, really the originator of this. Ron Milas no longer the secondary coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A pretty dramatic age difference between Milas and the remainder of the staff. I don't know if that figured into the decision here. Have to wonder. Also, was it based on what just happened? You know, the recent set of circumstances where there was communication breakdown within the cornerbacks. I thought the corners played well this year, considering, right? I mean, they had 15 interceptions. I thought there was improved play by Buster Brown. I thought there was improved play by Jarian Jones once he got an opportunity. Early on, did not play well. We know that. And certainly Antonio Johnson played some good football. You brought in two brand new guys in, Jordan Lewis and in Eric Murray. But you were number one against the run. You had a solid season. Are more changes coming? The pass defense was really poor for a while. It ended up being 21st in the NFL in passing yards allowed. I think a lot of that had to do with the lack of pressure. And that whole pressure situation is really complex because Jacksonville was 27th in sacks, but they were 7th in pressures. And again, pressures is it's not official. Depending on where you go for your data, you'll get different sack numbers. I mean, you can go to Stats Info, or you can go to Pro Football Focus, or you can go to Pro Football Reference, or you can go to ESPN Stats. You're getting different numbers all the time. And to listen to what James Gladstone said when he met with the media earlier this week, he didn't necessarily gauge the pass rush based on sacks. It's more on pressures. If you look at Jacksonville based on pressures, it was a good pass rush situation. Now, let's forget about the data. Let's forget about the numbers. How about the eye test? What did the eye test tell you this year about the pass rush? The eye test. Whether you're in the 15th row and you drank 20 beers, or whether you sit at home and lock yourself alone into your office and are not bothered and listen to the entire game and know exactly what's going on down in distance. What do the eyes tell you about how the pass rush was this year? To me, that's a bigger concern, the interior pass rush, than the secondary. And we're getting into the type of year now where you're going to get team needs from everyone. Telling you right now, the biggest team need for me is an interior defensive lineman. What was the draft all last year? What did they kept saying time and again and time and again, time and again? Who are they going to pick in the NFL draft?
It was Mason Graham.
Michigan, right?
Number 5.
Yes, absolutely. Eric Armstead could be a post-June 1st cut. Mason Smith, they may just send him down the road. That was not part of this regime. Frankly, I'd like to see him re-sign Anton Johnson. I thought he did some good things for him. He just, I'm almost describing him as like an innings eater in Major League Baseball. Like a fifth starter. And this doesn't even really apply today because teams go to the bullpen so early. But back in the day in baseball, if you get your fifth starter to give you, 5 or 6 innings, especially during the dog days of the summer, that was an accomplishment just to get innings of work out of them. That's the way I feel about Austin Johnson at defensive tackle.
Yeah, it's weird because we spend so much time, everyone at the station, talking about interior D tackle as the biggest weakness, and they didn't even address it the entire offseason. Mm-hmm. They didn't address it in free agency. They did not address it in the draft. Do you think it was a position where it was like, we're going to improve on everything else, or do you think it was more of, we like what we have, let's see what we can work with, and if it's a big issue this season, we'll definitely address it in the following offseason?
Well, it was all about the big three. And when you look at it, Devon Hamilton had a really good season. Eric Armstead was having a really good season until his injury. And then he was non-effective after the fact. I went through those numbers earlier in the week. They were actually from Daniel Griffiths. It was like he had 5.5 sacks and a ton of pressures up until the injury. And then he was basically non-existent after the fact. And the third guy was who? It was Mason Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And he just didn't show up. So Mason Smith took himself out. They also made the Colin Saunders trade.
Yep.
And they thought he was going to figure in. He never did. And it became Austin Johnson. It became Matt Dickerson. It became on the edge more with Danny Strigow. So you got really good contributions. I mean, when we were talking about the defensive line, we never mentioned Matt Dickerson, Austin Johnson, and Danny Strigow.
And BJ Green, too.
Yeah. So those guys came aboard and accomplished, where, frankly, the DeJuan Smoots, the Emmanuel Ogbas, the Mason Smiths, they did not. So, right now, without any question, the number one priority for me is an interior defensive line. Even if they lose Devin Lloyd, you have to get a linebacker? Okay. Well, you got Ventrell Miller and you got Jack Kaiser. All right. I keep hearing cornerback, and that's fair. I'd bring back Buster Brown. If they don't, well, you got Travis Hunter coming back, and you got Jordan Lewis coming back. You're going to have to address that. You need more corners. I got you. I keep hearing safety. I think you're going to lose Dewey. Well, you got two. You got Eric Murray. You got Antonio Johnson. You got Caleb Ransall, who never played at all. You got Ray Lane, who could figure in. So I like where this team is with some depth. I really do. I think they're set at wide receiver. I think they're set at running back. They'll find a back if they lose ETN. They got their starter in Tootin. I like this roster. I like it a heck of a lot more than I did a year ago at this time. They have some holes, but every team in the NFL does. All right? There's no doubt. Every club has a few.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clear water, irrigation,
and drainage too.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
What's up, Duval? I'm Chad Valamic, owner of Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran-owned pool company for over 10 years. We specialize in new pool construction and pool renovations, built on military values, integrity, communication, attention to detail, and honor. Now is the perfect time to start your pool project, so when the heat hits, your pool is ready. As an Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient, pride in what I do is everything. Let me show you the difference in how my team and I execute your pool project with military precision. Call Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran pool company.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pet Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPetServices.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Out of the 8 quarterbacks who remain, only one has a Super Bowl ring. Matt Stafford.
Wow. Yeah. I saw something, too, where I think every one of them is a first-round pick, with the exception of Brock Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant. So he is certainly the outlier.
And you go back to the first round, if you include Trevor and Young, you had 3 or 4 Caleb Williams, number 1 picks in the draft.
Crazy that Buffalo's playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been a brutal week here, a long week. I imagine this week has flown by.
Denver's 8-1 at home. The only team that beat them there was Jacksonville. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if I was to give you even money here, are you picking the quarterback who has a ring, or are you picking one of the other 7 teams to have a quarterback who's going to get their first ring?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to take the Rams or the field, I would probably take the field, although the Rams look very, very good. And look, I mean, the Rams potentially are staring at a home playoff game. Now, I'm not sure what that'll matter. I mean, if San Francisco goes into Seattle and wins, which they could, Sam Darnold's injured and questionable to play. Rams-Bears Sunday night. I think a lot of people picking the Rams to win that game. Wouldn't it be crazy? San Francisco and L.A. in L.A. in the NFC title game.
That would be a lot of fun. No question about it, because San Fran travels well. And who knows about that L.A. crowd.
And apparently Sunday night in Chicago, I think the Rams are going to beat the Bears, but it is supposed to be nasty.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know a lot about Chicago in January.
Oh, it's the worst.
It is supposed to be awful on Sunday night.
Right, and the game coming up this weekend for the third time, the away team won the first two in that series, so that's coming up. All right, it's Dylan's final show. What do you got planned tonight?
Yeah, we'll certainly talk to Denmark about his future plans. We'll obviously look back on a crazy week here in Jacksonville. We'll look ahead to the divisional round of the playoffs and a little national title talk as Monday night. The college football title will be handed out. So we're with you till 10 o'clock. We got a lot to do to wrap up the week.
All right, man. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
Have a great show. As Ted Knight says in Caddyshack, who plays the role of Judge Smales, I'll see you on the golf course. That's you, Dylan Denmark. We're playing tomorrow with a bunch of good guys. Should have a whole heck of a lot of fun. Best of luck to you, though, Dylan. You did a really outstanding job on In Tonight. Everyone out there, including myself, going to miss you a great deal.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate everything. It's been real.
It has been a lot of fun. And again, we're going to golf tomorrow. Listeners, have an outstanding weekend. Be safe. I'll talk with you Monday at 6 o'clock right here on your home of the Jags.
How does number 9 feel about number 16?
All right, here we go.
Find out when David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony. Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010 XL.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
The toughest bulls, the bravest riders. For 8 seconds, it's all on the line. Glory or nothing. These are cowboys who face down danger, defy the odds, and push themselves beyond limits most wouldn't dare. This is their world, where legends are made on the backs of ranked bulls. It's bull time, Jacksonville. PBR Bucks into Five-Star Memorial Arena, February 20th and 21st. Get your tickets now at pbr.com/tickets.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comfort